If you have Pectus Excavatum and you feel like it looks worse than it used to or worse than it should, then you might be falling into these 3 bad habits. But don't worry, fixing them is easier than you think. The first bad habit is skipping exercise. When you don't work out, you obviously don't build muscle. You get skinny or overweight. Both being skinny and being overweight make the pectus look a lot worse. So when you're sedentary, when you're skipping exercise, that's gonna make your pectus look worse. Seriously, it makes such a difference in which a lean muscular physique can impact the pectus. Take it from me. That's how I transformed my pectus, was building muscle. That's how I've coached hundreds of people to do the same thing. So if you are sedentary, if you are skipping exercise, you're gonna make your pectus look worse because you're gonna be so skinny, and it's a bone deformity. So of course, when you're skinny, it's gonna look worse. Or in contrast, if you're eating heaps and being sedentary, you're gonna get fat. You're gonna get fat. And when you're fat, that's gonna make the pot belly look worse and protrude, which is gonna make the indent appear deeper. And so skipping exercise is the one sure thing you can do that will definitely be making your pectus look worse. So to fix this, you need to start exercising, okay? You need to start exercising with weights, specifically if we're talking about improving the cosmetics, because it's in the building of muscle that will really make the pectus look better. And it's the development of specifically areas like the abs and the obliques over the rib flare, the chest around the indent, developing a sculpted chest around the indent. And also the importance of developing the back for the postural element, which is related to the next habit that I'll get into. And so the next bad habit is sitting for hours, being sedentary and not stretching, okay? So most people I find nowadays, they're either at a desk all day, so they're just sitting there, or they play video games a lot, so they're just sitting there. They watch TV a lot, they're just sitting there. They drive a lot, they're just sitting there. People sit, they sit all the time. And what this does is it contributes to that rounded shoulders posture. Inherently with pectus, we have tight pecs, which pulls us forward, okay, pulls the shoulders forward. That makes the indent look worse immediately, okay? Now, when you're sitting all the time, you're also going to be creating tight hips, which pulls you into an anterior pelvic tilt, especially because you probably have a weak core as well. And so when you have this anterior tilt, that's accentuating the pot belly. And then you combo that with rolled shoulders, that's accentuating the indent. So what we need to do is making sure that if you're sitting a lot, if you have work demands where you have to be at a desk, you're standing as well. So you have a desk that you can stand at, and you're being conscious of your posture throughout the day. Posture is not something that is just a stagnant fix, okay? There will be moments where you roll forward when you're in like a productive task and you're just focusing on that task. So you don't need to be so hard on yourself to say, I need to be in perfect posture all the time. But the more conscious you can be of it, the more you can make it a habitual position that's better. Okay, now on top of that, when you strengthen areas like the back, as I was alluding to earlier in this video, that helps holding a better posture easier, okay? When your back muscles are weak, your pec muscles are tight, it makes it so easy to roll forward. When we start strengthening the back muscles, stretching the chest, improving your thoracic mobility, stretching the hips, it's gonna make having better postural alignment a lot easier to just naturally maintain, okay? So if you are sitting and you're not stretching, that is a habit you need to break. And in breaking that habit, you'll make such an immediate impact to how much better your pectus looks. Even just go look in a mirror, go look at if you just stand in your relaxed natural posture, which is probably like rolled forward shoulders, how much worse your pectus looks in comparison to if you just pull those shoulders back and push your chest out. It immediately makes it look better. So that in itself should tell you, oh, hey, like if I actually develop a better posture, my pectus will just look better basically as soon as I can do that. So that's a good tip for you guys. Now, the final bad habit is ignoring your nutrition. So not paying any attention to what you eat, just eating whatever. Okay, that is such a bad habit. And it all comes down to body composition. So I find people with pectus fall into 2 camps here when the people don't pay attention to the nutrition. The majority of us seem to be really ectomorphic. A lot of people that I meet on my strategy calls seem to just like skip meals. They don't really eat much. And as a result, they're super skinny. That's what makes you super skinny, okay? So you need to eat. And you need to eat well in order to build muscle. So even if you start working out, if you're not paying attention to your nutrition, you won't see muscle growth. So you need to start paying attention to your nutrition. The other camp of people I meet, they just eat a lot and they kind of eat whatever. They eat burgers, they eat pizza, they eat junk. And as a result, they develop body fat. And that body fat, especially in the belly, accentuating that pot belly appearance, makes the indent look deeper. It makes your condition look worse. So it's very important you start paying attention to your food. You start eating foods that are high in protein. You start eating unprocessed foods. At least 80% of your diet should be of unprocessed whole foods. Ideally, you should track your calorie and protein intake for a while to understand what you should be eating in order to achieve your goals. Okay, you need to be eating high protein, at least 1 gram per pound of body weight. And you need to be eating the appropriate amount of calories depending on if you're trying to gain or lose weight. And so nutrition is one of the biggest elements that I coach my clients in to get them such a good result. And the clients that are compliant to that are the ones that get the crazy transformations. So it's very important you break the habit of ignoring your nutrition and you start working on actually eating with a meaning, eating with a purpose. So there you have it. They are the 3 habits, okay? Skipping exercise, sitting all day and not stretching, and ignoring your nutrition. They are the 3 habits that is going to ultimately result in your pectus looking a lot worse than it should. Okay, so if we can address those 3 habits, we can make your pectus look a lot better. I do have a few client spots left in 2025, so if you would like to work personally with me and get a personalized program for you and your pectus and have my support and guidance, then you should go to my website, fixpectus.com, and apply.